Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Love Experience Show. I am your host, Ashley J. I am a wife, mother, author, speaker, um, therapist, and so many other things. Tonight is a very special night because I have a guest who's filling in, and hopefully they will be on in a second, okay? Because this this is going to be a great conversation. We are talking about a mother's love. And if you are a mother, then you understand exactly what this love is like. If you are a mother that just loves her children, you understand that because there is nothing else better than a mother's love. So, before we get started, go ahead and share this episode with 5 people. So 5 people to come on and watch this episode with you. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and you like this episode. And on Clubhouse, because we are streaming both live on Facebook and YouTube, as well as Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse, ping some people in the room so they can have this conversation, hear this conversation as well. So um don't forget to go to itsashleyj.com to purchase your love experience gear because it's out there, it's waiting for you. So you have to go purchase it. All right. It's waiting for y'all in all sizes. Okay. Okay. And while I'm waiting for my guest, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all about my love experience as a mother. So first of all, I thought finding love in my with my husband, falling in love with him, I thought that was the epitome of love. I was sadly mistaken. When I had my son growing inside of me, the very first time I found out that I was pregnant, it was an exciting moment for me. I absolutely could not be any more happy than I was that very day when I found out about my son because it was something that I never experienced before. It was something that I was always excited to experience. And once I found out that I was pregnant, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. I cannot believe this. This is a dream come true. So when he was growing in my belly, we were bonding. And I never thought about bonding with a child the way I'll say while I was pregnant. I never thought that. I've always heard about the bonding experience, but never thought about the bonding experience the way I experienced it when I was pregnant with my son. Never ever thought about it that way. So that was an experience all in itself. And I chuckle when I think back about how while I was pregnant with him, like when I tell you, he was like a little peanut, and I was sitting here reading books to him, yelling. I was yelling so that he could hear me through my stomach. I was, and it was funny because that's how serious I was about bonding with my child and how serious I was about increasing his intelligence. Um, because I did not, I always knew, I prayed about him being extremely intelligent, and that's exactly how he came out. Extremely intelligent. He was always ahead of the game, always, even while I was pregnant. I can recall him kicking before he was really supposed to, technically supposed to. He would kick early. He was doing a lot early. He was moving earlier. And it continues as he grows. He's always moving faster. He's always ahead of the curve. I remember taking him to his doctor's appointments, and his doctor, she would ask me, okay, so is he, let's say, crawling yet, and is he walking yet? Are you reading doing the ABCs with him? I was like, well, he's been doing all that stuff already. Every time she would ask me. So finally she got to the point where she was like, she would ask me a question. I can't remember what it was the last time um we were there, but she asked me this question, and she was like, you know what, never mind, because he's already ahead of the game. So it is such a joy. And I say that because honestly, every time I see how he advances in life, I fall deeper in love with him. I do. I fall deeper in love with my son because it's like he's so amazing to me. And I know they say, can nobody love a child like a mom, or what's the other saying? I can't think of what the other saying is, but I it is what it is. Like my son is he I don't want to say everything, but he is, he's pretty much my world. And everything that I do it for him because I want to leave a legacy with him, a legacy of love, a legacy of knowing how to navigate relationships. Y'all might think that that's not important, but it is, because how many of you have experienced in maybe the dating world where you you were dating someone and they did not know how to be in a relationship. It's important for us to leave that legacy. It's important for us to show our children how to be in happy, healthy relationships. That is extremely important. So, okay, here's the guest.
I couldn't get it to come up. I'm going to get it. Hold on.
So, it's extremely important for us to do that because they are going to eventually be somebody else's partner. They're going to be somebody's partner one day. And you don't want to get into a situation where the partner has to raise your child because they don't know how to be in a relationship. And for me, that is not okay. Okay. That is not okay for me because what do I look like being a couples therapist, being a relationship and dating coach, and my child doesn't know how to navigate relationships? That doesn't make sense to me. So I have to equip him with the right tools and the right knowledge and understanding of how to be in relationships. Okay. I have to do that because he needs to know how to do that. So what do we work on? I love teaching him how to express his emotions in a healthy way. I don't want him to be in a habit of falling out crying. So now he's old enough, he's about to be 4. He's old enough now to come be at a point where, listen, you know how to talk. You can verbalize a lot of things. So I need you to tell me what you feel. How are you feeling right now? He knows his feelings. He knows his feeling words. So how do you feel? What are you feeling right now? Tell mommy what's going on. And I let him know it's not okay. Excuse me, y'all. I let him know it's not okay to just scream and cry. You have to have something to say. You have to verbalize what is going on the inside. So we have conversations. I sit there and I make sure I am attentive and intent, giving him intent of expressing himself because it's important to me. I am raising a young black man. And so often in our community, it's not okay for a man to show emotion. But I'm here to tell you it is okay for a man to show emotion. Matter of fact, it's important for him to show emotion because this is Comedy Central right now. It's important for him to show emotion because um he's going to face different things in life where his emotions are going to be important. Okay, so let me just say this for those of y'all who are watching on YouTube. This was not the plan. I
Not at
just want
all.
y'all to know that. So excuse us with
Technology.
um the different adjustments that we are making right now. Okay, excuse us. So eventually, what I want for my son is for him to get to a place where he says, you know what, my mommy taught me that. My mom taught me how to be this type of man. My mom taught me how to express emotions in a healthy way. My mom taught me how to have be a man of caliber, and it's okay for me to express my emotions even though society tells me it's not. Because what I don't want him growing up to do, I don't want him to grow up and stuff. I don't want him to stuff his emotions, because I was one that stuffed my emotions. I deal with those who have stuffed their emotions. It does not turn out good. It's not a good thing for somebody to stuff their emotions. It gives you problems later on down the line. So stop stuffing. And I want him to feel. I do not want him to be in a place where he cannot feel. I was having a conversation today with someone who does not know how to process feelings. I don't want that for him, because then you get judged and misunderstood. And that's the last thing I need for him going into this world as a black man. So we are talking about a mother's love.
Right at the moment, I'm just listening.
Okay. So
I'll take some deep breaths here.
so it's very important. I really feel. And since my mom is down here with me, she I will say she didn't know everything. And that's not to down her, because I don't know everything. My moms were human. We don't know everything, but she knew enough to help us to grow and be mature in a way that 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 helped us to be women. You know what I'm saying? Like, helped us to be loving women. I'll say that. She gave us the opportunity and the space to I guess express ourselves with each other. We couldn't really express ourselves to her, but express ourselves to between my sister and I. But she helped us to grow, and she continues to push us to grow. So that is something that is very important as a mom, because I know I will continue to push the limits with Marquise. I am going to continue to push him to be independent. I am going to continue to push him to be the best version of himself as he can be. And give him the opportunity to say, Mom, I don't understand this. I don't get this, in his own little way, because only about to be 4, but is like going on 40 almost. So in his own little way, I allow him the opportunity to express what he doesn't get and why he has to do something. That is a very big thing right now. But why do I have to do that? Why can't I watch what I want to watch? And you see, she's shaking her head a little bit. That is okay, because that's the difference between she and I. Okay. I want him to ask me, and I will let him know. And I try very hard not to say because I said so, but sometimes you can't help it. But I do. I like, there's certain things that I allowed him to watch before. I kind of allow him to explore. There are certain things that I allowed him to watch before, but it's not things that are healthy for him actually at this point. So once I catch wind of what it is, I cut it off. And he has a whole fit, but I explained to him why. And the explanation is because mommy and daddy, and my mom, because she's in the house with us, we are responsible for keeping your soul safe and unattached from things that are are not becoming, things that basically evil. Okay. So I explain that to him every time we get into this debate of why can't I do this? That is all part of love, y'all. That is all part of a mother's love. Yes, his father is in the house with him. His father deals with him. His father plays with him and stuff. But I feel like sometimes a mother's role in a child's life goes a little is a little more detailed than that. Um, and I'm not someone that had a father in the house with me, so I can't say that I understand totally what a father's role is in the life of his child. But what I can say is I know that my husband is the priest of the home, so um we have to help our child develop spiritually together. Sometimes it's by ourselves, but other times we try to talk to him and express how he should live. And I try to show him by example. He comes in my office with me in the morning sometimes and we pray. But it's really me praying and him sleeping on me. But it's okay because he understands, okay, I need to have time that I set aside to be with God. He understands that. He understands worship music. He gets all of that. So that I feel like that's my role and that's my love as a mother. I tell him all the time that I love him. I kiss him all the time and he wipes my kisses off all the time. And it's okay because I'm like, that's okay. I'm going to always kiss you. And one day you're going to stop wiping my kisses off. Okay. But, and that didn't start happening until we hit 3. So I don't know. Nobody warned me about that. But I love that he does give me the space to hug on him and kiss him and tell him I love you. And he is a very loving child. He will tell you I love you too, and he'll blow kisses to people and everything. He is okay with all of that because that is stuff that he's taught. He's taught how to do that. He's taught how to love. And when we pray every day, we pray about starting our day, and we pray um about being kind to people and loving people during the day. Those are things that we pray about because I need him to get that in his mind, because I know one thing for sure. My child is a leader and he is going to be leading people. And if he's going to be leading people, he has to lead them the right way. And he has to lead them in love. And he can never, ever say, I don't know how to lead people in love because my parents didn't show me how to do that. That is something he cannot absolutely ever say. Are you ready to talk now?
Well, yes. Well, he is a loving child, and he is his own person. So I
Absolutely.
would say that. And even though I'm in the house, I try to just be the grandmom. I try not to be the mom, and I try to help the best way I can. Um, he is a boy. I've never had a boy, but your dad was in the house too. You was about 3 years old, so you probably don't remember.
Of course I
But
don't.
your father, talking about well, a mother's love. So we'll stay on the mother right now. But one thing I do want to say is that even when your father was in the house, he did pray with you and he did walk with you and make sure that you were covered. So, you know, that is something from a child that you had. And yes, should I be talking about you and Ashley, Adrian?
Well, you are our mother.
Well, I don't know what part
You talk about your
that
mother's love experience.
my mother's love experience was always. I was telling Ashley today we was talking about my mother and my grandmother, and I was telling her how I thought I was supposed to be like my grandmother. And my grandmother, she lived for us. She did everything for us. And she kind of stopped living for herself, and she took care of us. We were grown, and she was always there for us. So I thought that that was the way that I was supposed to be. So I was trying to my best to be like that, to grow up, that after they grow up, to always be with them. Now I'll always be with them, but it was important to me that I did things that would kind of help balance out their lives, like send them to etiquette school and that what modeling and uh, being in the pageant and just music. They when they were in school, they either had to take music or be in the choir. They didn't have a choice. That was one of the things that they had to do. So I tried my best to do as a mother what I could. Now I think my legacy right now, we was talking about legacies. I was like, well, I'm still working on that. But I think that my legacy that right now I can say I've always left is prayer, living a life.
Go ahead.
What you laughing for?
Go ahead.
Before living a life before God. That is something they all can say, I think, that I did and I still do.
That's
That's
why
my
she got the
passion.
nickname Crisco. That's the nickname Tariq gave her. She's Crisco.
Because I had a love for, and as I call him, Yeshua, I had a love for him. And that's how they grew up now. When we was going to church, when they were little, we was doing too much. We was in church all the time, and we would just they couldn't do anything on Sunday. They couldn't do this on Sunday. They couldn't do that, and couldn't. I don't think she got to go to her one of her proms.
My eighth grade dance. Okay, so since she brought it up, and yes, I'm still upset about that because she waited, told me no for like a couple of weeks. You can't go, you can't go, you can't go. Then all of a sudden, when tickets are all sold out, when there was no chance for me, the boy that asked me to go with him, he already was going with I don't know if he went with somebody else. I don't know. But she waited till that day, the day of, to say to me, why don't you see if you could get a ticket? You can go to the eighth grade dance. When I tell you I had a whole attitude and still got one, as you could tell about that, yeah. She said, I don't think. No, there was something that she stopped me from going to because, you know,
My religious preferences.
religious mind. But then my sister comes around and she's going through her little dances and stuff, and there was no stopping her. She could go. It was okay. She could go to parties that I was not allowed to go to parties.
I started changing. I started changing, and with me changing, yes, Alfreda, we was breakfast, lunch, and dinner serving in church.
I need forgiveness.
She needs forgiveness. Yes, we need to get her hooked up with forgiveness. But I'm sure, as a mother, that ain't the only thing she need forgiveness for. But we'll keep it moving right here. But I did. My mindset started changing. I started seeing things differently, and things was different than now. Now the way things is going, I probably wouldn't let either one of y'all go anywhere uh, doing with school anything with school. That's just me talking, but yeah, it was my desire has always been for them to have a good life. Um, and one of the things that I was keen on, because I had two girls, I was keen on making sure that they had certain things that they didn't have to depend on a man for, think that they needed a man to do these things. So I took them on trips and I did certain things with them because I wanted them to experience it before they even really got into a real relationship so that they can understand that they can be healthy, not saying they didn't need a man, but that they can be healthy without a man. and that to be healthy first. So I tried to
What do
do
you
the
mean by
things
healthy?
healthy. What do I mean by healthy? I wanted them not to have the mindset that if they didn't have a man, they couldn't do anything. That if there wasn't a man in their life, that they had to wait till one come. I wanted them to experience it. I wanted them to experience certain things so as they grew up, they could have respect for themselves and not just be depending on a man. So to me, that's healthy. You know, teaching you when a man comes along, because some men have come along and they want to brag about what they can do for you, and you can say, okay, my mom done that or my dad did that. That's already been done.
So let me jump in real quick. Two things. Um, Not saying, not knocking a mother for doing that, because I think you're right, children should be able to experience that, but I feel like if the father is present in the daughter's life, that should
He should
be
do it.
a father, like a father, because the father is the daughter's first love.
And if he was, I would have let him.
You would not have loved.
I would have,
Oh yeah.
you know. I just knew that I didn't want y'all to think that you had to depend on someone to do something. If you wanted to get up and go to Barbados, go. If you wanted to, whatever you wanted to do. Um, I remember, and this is
Wait, wait,
probably
wait,
going
wait.
out a little bit.
Let me finish my thought real quick before you go there. So last weekend, last Saturday, my husband and I went out to dinner for his birthday, and it was an upscale restaurant, and I was laughing because um I was like, wow, I'm here at an upscale restaurant. I don't think I have been to a place in a long time. Not that he and I don't go to nice places, but I do not recall escargot being on the menu or caviar. And it made me think about the time that you took
To New
us to New
York.
York. And what was the name of that
I
restaurant?
could not
It's
tell
something
you.
I could not, I was trying to find it and I could not find it. But that was an experience that she provided for us. And I was able to say, I did that before. Now I did differentiate. I did say, well, I never did that on a date with a guy before, but I have had that experience, because when I tell y'all this was a white tablecloth, all the forks and spoons and the wine glasses, water glasses, like all of that. And I I recall I told my husband, I was like, yeah, when we went to this place, it was so funny because I had to um I had to put my etiquette school work to work, my etiquette class stuff to work, because it was that type of place. So she afforded us this opportunity to do that, and I can't remember, I was in high school, I think, I can't remember, but it was something that we never did. And honestly, up until I met my husband, I have not been to a place like that again until I got with him. So I went from high school all the way up until my late 20s not doing that, because the guys that I was dating, they were not on that level, or they did not think I should be on that level. So this was something that I it was a long period of time, but it was something that I got to experience before getting to that place last Saturday. So go ahead.
I'm finished. I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry. I
That's
just
all
wanted to make
right.
sure I
No,
said what I
that
had
was
to
good
say.
because the, when you've experienced something and you do go out on a date or with a husband and you come to those places, your attitude is different than if you had never gone. When you've never gone somewhere, it's like a kid in a candy store and you don't
Mm,
know how to act, you don't know what to do, you're just so excited, and it gives it a different persona or a different
it's a different
flavor.
experience.
Yeah, different experience. So that was one of the things that was important to me, that you girls did experience certain things and did go anywhere. We went, and at the time when they was growing up, we went to Disney so much till they asked me, "Can we stop going?"
I
you
didn't
know.
even go on my high school trip because we went to Disney so much. We had just gone to Disney my junior year of high school because I was in the Florida Citrus Bowl. So I was like, yeah, I'm good on Disney. I'm good on Disney. I don't need to go to my high school trip. So I saved her a good chunk of change because I did not go on my high school senior trip. And but then I felt bad a little bit because I was like, oh well, they had fun, so maybe I should have went. But no, no, I was good.
Yeah. So even though my youngest daughter acts like she's lived a different life than what I
That
have
was
raised her with.
good.
Yeah, that was
That
right,
was
right,
good.
right, right.
A different life. I like that.
I tell her all the time, you wasn't even raised like this, and she's like, well, Mom, you kept me from all this stuff, so now I'm excited, and it's like, but why, you know?
She acts as if she was grown. She was raised in an urbanized area of
She
living.
loves the urban life, she loves it, and there's nothing we can do about it. But like I'm always pouring into them, um, to make sure that their relationship with Yeshua is correct. And as I told her, I said, I'm not concerned about that, but I am concerned about your relationship, that you are spending the right amount of time.
Go
What's
ahead.
that? The right amount of the right amount of time and giving him what he wants. So, right now, that is the most important thing to me. Do I need to leave a legacy? I do. I really need to start working on that.
So, what would you want your legacy to be?
That's a good question. I think my legacy would be, um, probably well, you're already kind of going in that direction as far as getting your business and things set up. The legacy I would like to leave would be that you guys were self-sufficient. And when I say self-sufficient, having your own business, experience the better part of life, which comes with experiencing the kingdom and experience, how to live in the kingdom. And once you learn how to live in the kingdom, and really, you know what? That's the most important thing I can give y'all. Money can't buy what Yahweh can give you,
No,
you
it
know,
can't.
and neither can no material things
Can replace him.
can replace that, but He can replace it. He can give you those things if you have that relationship with Him. So that would be the key legacy I would want to leave. You know, we've been talking about my mom lately. She was a business owner. She did a lot of things to and that she passed on. She was a seamstress. She made hats. You know, she made underwear. You know, she did a lot. So we have a lot to, stand on, and a lot to follow after as far as that's concerned.
So, I have not this whole year almost, I have not been shy about where my relationship was with God prior to this whole um ride I've been on. Okay, so I am very vocal with saying that my spiritual life was not where it should have been. I had these gifts. I had gifts that I started because of her started being developed as a teenager, but my desire to want to experience life outside of church. So, I'm a church girl. Been a church girl all my life. I was born in church. She probably went into labor at church. I'm a church girl. So when I um I got to be about 19, 20, something like that, I was living, was I that old? I mean that young? It was somewhere in there. I was living with my dad. and his rules were a little more laxed than her rules. I didn't have to go to church if I didn't want to. Once I was told that, I was like, word.
As for me in my house,
Once he told me that, I was like, word. I don't have to. Oh, go on ahead. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you when you get back. So church stopped, and
yes,
I
Wanda.
I periodically, I would go to church, but church stopped. And the way I thought I should live started happening. So I was going to parties. I was going to the club. I was doing the things my friends was doing. Like I was doing it all. And it wasn't like when I met my husband, some of that calmed down. Um, but when it wasn't really like I always this is the weird thing. I did always do my devotions, no matter where I was, no matter whose bed I woke up in. I was doing my devotion. Yeah, that's what I said. I was doing my devotion, and
Keeping it real.
but but it was just reading because it was routine, because that is what I was supposed to do. That's what I was taught I had to do. So that was just what I did. So there was no relationship between he and I. And it wasn't until after my son was born, I think I shared with you guys that I stopped watching some things that I would watch because I didn't want that to get into his spirit. Then because I got that noise out of my head, that's when he started talking to me and started drawing me closer to him. And then it took me all the way up to last year to really go all in and get delivered from some stuff, and get to a place that I've never been with him. So now it's like, man, why did I feel like I needed to try this stuff out? But even when I think about that, sometimes he will say to me, I had to see it so that I can help, so that I can understand what other people's struggles were. And and I was like a youth minister. I got ordained as a youth minister, and it was right after that. It was not long after that. I was like, you can take this paper back and this collar back, and I'm going to go do my own thing. Because I was like, I cannot, which is really funny to me. I was like, I could not be in a place of leadership in a church and live a double life. That was something that I was absolutely not going to do. So I got I it's so crazy to say now, but I put God down and went on about my sinful life. But I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm being real 100 with y'all about this. So now I'm at a place where God has shown me so many things about my life. He has imparted so many things over my life that now I'm like, nobody and nothing can make me walk away from you ever again. And just the thought of experiencing a love from him that I never realized he had for me. And I'm gonna say it that way because I know he loves me, but it was a love that I did not realize. Never realizing that I had that love um, is a game changer.
Yeah. So everybody has to have a testimony, and I've always said that. And people that feel bad about what they've done or what they've gone through, but it is now your testimony. I was thinking about, and this might be off the subject of the grid a little bit, but I was thinking about my life, and I went back and I started looking at all the things I did. I was like, my life was crazy, you know. I lived a crazy life, not knowing who I was. And it's important to me that not just my girls, but young ladies, women know who they are, because you can never live a healthy life unless you know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, if you never experience yourself, you'll never experience a true love of God, because if you don't love yourself, you'll never know what it is to really be loved. So it's important that we find ourselves, that we um, understand who we are, and that we begin to operate from that aspect. Because when you operate from that aspect, you can go a whole lot further, you can do a whole lot more than you could. When you don't know who you are, you end up in circle after circle after circle, wondering why you do the things, you keep doing the same things over and over, because you don't know who you are, and you've never experienced you. I'm just gonna call, I'm looking, I don't have my glasses on, but if Sonia never uh had a relationship with herself, she would never really know who she was. If Ida never had a relationship with herself, she would never know who she really was. So if
I'm Ashley.
right, Ashley,
Mother's love, prime example.
that one. What's your name? Yeah, that. Yeah, no, not Adrian, but but yeah, no, not Sanaya. Yeah, yeah. I know some of you, and I'm sure Wanda, Minister Wanda, can attest to that. She has 8 children. She's a beautiful woman of God, but I know when she goes to get to calling them names, sometimes she might have to call about 5 of them before she get to the right one. But yeah, I, Ashley, both of my girls, I am so proud of them. They are doing their own thing. And one thing that I learned, and there's a community that I'm in, and we have classes 5 a.m. in the morning. And one of the things I learned was, I forgot. See, one would mess me up.
So let me tell you. Oh, you
Go
figured it
ahead.
out.
No, I'll figure it out.
Okay. So let me say this. You didn't go
Oh,
off.
yeah, wait. This is what I'll say. I learned how not to be a helicopter mom. You all know about that? Anybody know about that? I learned how not to be a helicopter mom. What is a helicopter mom? One that's in their grown children's business,
Hovering.
always trying to help out, trying to tell them what to do. Well, that was one of the most healthiest things I could learn. And sometimes it's hard when that youngest one be doing stuff. And like I told her today, I said, "You grown, you grown, you grown." But yeah, being able to live my life uh, the way that my life has been developed to live according to God is one of the most blessed things that I could have done. I raised my girls, they have values, they know what the values are, whether they live them or not. That is not my issue, but I will continue to pour in them as much as possible as long as I'm living. And I will always be a healthy mom.
So what I was going to say is, I I don't think you went too off the topic, because even in all the craziness that was your life, you tried to keep us from going through the same things
I
that
did.
you went through. The same,
Craziness.
yeah. So you were trying to help us avoid that. Then for us to, but I was the one that was like, I'm gonna experience this for myself.
Well, you
I
both did.
I was that one. I had to experience it for myself. It's all fine and good that you telling me that I can't do this and
Shouldn't.
I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, but I need to figure this out for myself. Like, I need to try this out on my own, because you just telling me is just making me want to go do it. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna try that out, and I'll be back.
And she did. And one of the things I tried to instill in them, look, y'all are young ladies, I need to know where you are. And that's not being a helicopter mom. But if something happens to my child, I need to know, have some information so that I can give it to the police or go look for them myself. I never liked for them to just go off and not let me have any. I want to know his name, his phone number, his address. I want to know everything. And not that I'm coming there, but in case something happened, I need to know it. Did she always do it? No.
No, I didn't do it till guess when? Um, I met my husband because he was like, well, yeah, give it to her. Give her all that information. He was like, why would you keep that from her? I was like, because she don't need to know all that. He was like, no, you're not a parent. You don't understand. Give her all of that information. And he made me do it. And I begrudgingly did it and gave her all the information because I was like, I don't know what this woman gonna do with this information. She gonna be calling them. What's she gonna do?
Look, I was able to meet him when they first got together. I came to Atlanta to see my girlfriend, and he took us out to lunch, and I was letting him know, look, and I always, it didn't matter who, if I met the guy, I wanted him to know that he had to have a relationship with Yahweh. He had to be able, I said, if you can't pray for yourself, you can't pray for your family and get your family out of them. You can't pray for my daughter. And it's important to me that you're able to connect with God so that you can help get y'all out of whatever situation you're in. That's the way I just thought. I just thought that it was important for them to know. And I was going in, and my girlfriend was like, Leslie, you're doing too much. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And she's like, I need you to bring it in. And I was like, no, I just need them to know this is how I feel, you know.
And that's exactly why I did not want that meeting to happen without my presence, but somehow it did. Okay. So, but no, what you're saying though, now that I'm married, now that I'm a mom, I totally get it. I totally get it because it takes partnership to get through different situations. It takes partnership to even even run a household. Now, I'm not saying that nobody should be single. That's not what I'm saying, but I have a different perspective now that I'm married and than I did as a single person. Um, there are things that we both have to take care of. There's thing we both have to cover our house. Like that that's what partnership is about. Um not and it's not dependent on a man, it's just having a partner. If you came up there and said those vows with me, then you're going to do all of this stuff with me as well. You're going to help me fight off these burglars if they come. You're going to help me fight off the enemy when he tries to come up in the marriage and this that and the third. It's a partnership. It's something that has to be done together.
And a lot of times, women are more willing to do that than men, as far as that aspect of it. So it is important that before you even get married, that you understand and know uh, each other's ways and what each other is about and will take and won't take. That is so vitally important. Why do we have so many marriages out here that don't work? For one thing, the mindset is just like the world. If it don't work, I'll
Get
get
rid of
out.
it.
And that is not the experience that Yahweh wants us to have. He doesn't want us to be in a relationship with the aspect of, I'll get out of it. The same way you want to be with Him is the same way you need to be with a marriage, because they are, um,
Connected. One.
I can't think of the word I want to use, but they 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 represent each other. Um, what do you call it? Complement each other. The reason why we have the illustration of marriage is to show us how our covenant should be with the Father. The Father gave us this image so that we can walk it out and see how our relationship would be with Him. But if we have a relationship or a mindset that we can get out at any time, when we're going to be like a seesaw up and down, even with our relationship with the Father. And it's so important that we understand that we have to be solid in both of them. Does it take time? It does. Does it take understanding? It does. And it takes a relationship with God to understand that in order to do this, it's going to take God. So you got to have a relationship with Him to know that it's Him that's gonna cause you to be able to overcome those aspects. But your mindset plays a big part. How you go into a thing is how it's gonna end up.
So, if y'all have any questions that you want to ask us, go ahead and drop your questions now. We are drawing close to the end of the show. So, go ahead and drop your questions for us now. And if you have a comment, go ahead and share your comment as well. Do you have anything else you want to
Nope,
say?
I just want to thank everybody for coming on. I was Wanda, I got to get you on here. I was trying to get her on here so I didn't have to come on here, and I was trying to get people to come on so I didn't have to come on. But here I am. Thank you, each and every one of you. I see my sister Linda and my sister Ida up in the house, and
I was just going to scroll through the
because I'm
comments.
acting up.
No, no. So, okay, thank you all for joining us tonight.
Okay.
Thank you all. So, I want to say hello to my Aunt Linda. Hello, Minister Wanda, Miss Alfreda, Sonia, and everybody else who might be watching and didn't comment. Hello to you as well. So, I'm going to jump in some of these comments that y'all been dropping throughout the.
While you do that, can I just say this real quick? I want to encourage mothers that's in the church to not make that your life when you have children. What do I mean by that? Take your children home. Don't have them in church all day, all night.
And then in school falling asleep the next day, and then they think something wrong with your child because you falling asleep in school every Monday. Don't do that.
But we was in church. It didn't matter all week long, pretty much. My heart was always to serve, but when I realized I was serving wrong, because there is a right way and a wrong way to serve when you have children, and a lot of time the church doesn't understand that, and it doesn't go that well for your children.
Yeah, you flunking in class because you sleep because you're tired because y'all been in church till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Amen.
All right, so excuse me. Miss Alfreda said, Ashley, the baby of the family. Yes, 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 and yes. So we had this discussion, my sister and I, we had this discussion the other day, and we were talking about the things that she got to do that I didn't get to do. And yeah, she was like, why you, my husband was like, but why are you still sound upset about that?
Listen, I have been putting together, I've been telling them about um, all my paperwork and stuff if something ever happened to me. And I sent them an email the other day, and Ashley was on the head, and this is me,
Adrian.
Ida. Adrian was the backup, and she was furious. I know you better than her. She don't need to be having control over everything. And I was like, if you're in control and you get the money, you're gonna be walking into my funeral with the biggest Louis bag you got. So just that, so loving sister stuff. So she didn't talk to her sister for a
Couple
day.
days. She was like, "What you mean? What you mean you the primary? I need to be the primary. You're adopted. You ain't even a real child, girl. What?
Oh,
Please go sit down somewhere." Okay, so I see. Yes, I've learned. Sonia says, "Yes, I've learned. I've learned that serving more outside that home, more outside the home than inside." Yes.
unhealthy.
And Minister Wanda said, we need balance. We had absolutely no balance because they made us feel as if the whole family wasn't saved.
Church first, family second.
Um, Ida said, it's funny. My old church pastor's wife would step away to take care of her family. Leslie, that's so true.
I had to learn it the hard way, but yes.
Okay. Sonia says, had she just said she had to learn the hard way. Had to learn the hard way, but my children are teenagers now and we're in a different place, but still serving. But oh, wait, I guess I have become a healthy mom. You did. I was getting ready to get to your comment because she said in the comments, Lord, help me be more of a healthy mom. And you are a healthy mom, Sonia. I'm so sure of that. No family first, church second, and sometimes third.
I know that's right.
That's the truth. So we thank you guys for watching. Oh, I appreciate you coming on and checking out the Love Experience show, Minister Wanda. I'm glad you enjoyed
We got
us.
to get you on. We got to get you on.
Absolutely. Let me see what else. Oh, and she also said that part, Ashley, and it gave us gray hair prematurely.
Look,
Lord.
I need mine done now, Wanda.
Um, but I mean, and I like I said, I understand now as a mom because I used to little things like we weren't allowed to watch Disney movies because of the witchcraft that was intertwined in Disney. Never understood it. I still got to watch it, but never understood it. And then now I got my child and I'm watching what he's watching and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute now. There's something ain't right about this. So I get it.
Look, I'm in Ashley's ear. Get that stuff, but stop letting him watch that. Don't let the, this is what we need to understand, that the world makes everything look cute and nice, but it's the undertones that makes you that you have to be pay attention to, and it's the undertones that grab our children's spirit, not just their mind. It grabs their spirit and they take on those different forms. So we have to be careful as parents as what they watch, especially now because it's more open and prevalent than it's ever been. And we're in a time where we have to protect them. Social media is taking over their minds. This young girl killed her mom because her mom took her phone from her, and that, yeah, and it's just getting so crazy that we need to pay attention. We need to be on our face praying and seeking the face of God for answers, because what the enemy is doing, he has heightened up his
Attacks.
attack, because he know it's about to end. So he is coming after our children. He does not want our children to be healthy. He does not want our children to be in a safe environment in their minds. In their minds, the social media, the TV, all those things that they're involved in is trying to control their minds, so they'll be blinded to the things of God. It is so important that we take back our children and that we realize that this stuff on TV, as much as we want them to be free and watch TV, as much as we want them to be free and have their phones, there should be limited times on the phone, because these children are going to bed. They're up all night. Okay, I'm going. I'm going.
You are. I was about to get you. Bring you back in because it's like 8:59.
Bless y'all.
Y'all saw she took off and she was running. Okay, she had to come on. It's the end of the show. You wait till the end of the show to get on the soapbox. Okay.
I'm relaxed now. Trying to get all the different uh, electronics to work, and they wasn't working. They wasn't working my last show. It just had me all in a prison. Frizzy, all frizzed up, all frizzed up. My hair was even frizzing with it. So
Okay, guys, thank you so much, so much for watching. Please share. You can still share the share this episode with everybody you know. This was a good episode. We've been on here together before, but this was a different um tone. So thank you guys for watching and for listening on Clubhouse. I appreciate you. And I will see you next Thursday at 8 o'clock. And if you would like to be a guest on the Love Experience show, please just DM me, email me, however you want. You can try to get in touch with me. Ashley at isashleyj.com is a great way to email me. So let me know that you would like to be a guest on the Love Experience show because this show is getting ready to take off. I want y'all to know that, okay? So let me know if you want to be on the show and I'll get you hooked up with a date and that's what it is.
so Ida and Linda, we need to do a show together on Ashley's show.
Okay, y'all come on. Y'all come on. All right, y'all. So there's only one thing left to say, and that is what is
What is
your
your
love
love
experience?
experience?
I will chat with y'all later.